This is a Headgum original.
Jake and Amir, two Jews that you can't forget. In 2010, they were big on the internet. And all things considered, their success is more than fair. Now here's one more effort for only positive motivations, they swear. Segment. Another podcast. Segment. Each app different from the last. Segment. It's the Swiss Army knife of shows. Meet your two emphatic hosts.
I kind of knocked my head on the TV behind me during the sway.
That's okay.
I'm concussed.
People won't notice. I don't think they'll see it.
I blacked
I don't
out.
think they'll see
I'm
it.
seeing stars.
This is a very special episode. We got to get right into it. This is your dream episode. It's the idea you always wanted. For our 1-year anniversary, we're going to be doing new segments every 90 seconds.
Yes. This was the plan for the show originally. It was a high-flying podcast.
High octane.
High octane. It kind of like Tottenham's football, actually, which will be a segment. But every episode, we'd add a new segment. So by the end of the year, we had 52 1-minute long segments. So we came up with about 50-ish segments. We're going to see how many we can actually get through.
Have we started yet?
No.
This is the pre-segment.
This is the pre-segment.
Okay, let's say this is segments, a podcast with a lot of segments.
Exactly.
Get that out of the way.
Okay, so let's kick it off with our very first segment, and here we go. We are looking at Facts of the Day. This is the segment where we discuss interesting little facts and factoids that we have found. So here's a quick fact for you. Did you know the King of Hearts is the only king without a mustache? Did you know that?
No, I didn't know. I wonder why that is.
There is not really time to get into that.
Yeah, I mean, we probably have a minute left. Like, why do you think the King of Hearts doesn't have a mustache?
Other facts to share.
Okay, all right.
The national animal of Scotland is the unicorn.
Oh, interesting. An animal that doesn't exist.
Yeah, pretty magical. I wonder why that is. Not really any
like,
time to discuss who gets national animals and does America have one. I guess we have the eagle, but
the bald
what
eagle?
Other nations have one? Not really enough time to get into it. Did you know that a fresh cranberry can be bounced like a rubber ball? Bing,
interesting.
bing.
Well, I've shown you my bouncing orange trick, right? When I stand behind a counter and I fake bounce an orange.
Yes, don't don't have any
video.
time to get into it.
Yeah. See, this is the fear that we would sort of minimize conversation almost.
No, actually, 90 seconds is plenty of time.
It's plenty of time.
We have 12 seconds
talk about
left.
the bouncing
We
orange
got 12
trick.
seconds
It's a great
left.
party trick.
Yeah.
I fake bounce an orange. We'll show a video if we can get one of me bouncing an orange, and it looks like I'm bouncing the fruit, but it's actually just a sleight of hand.
That's time.
A trick.
That's absolutely time. And it's time to play Smash or Pass with this random list of celebrities that I've just generated. Ben Stiller, smash or pass?
Would I have sex with him?
Yeah. Or I guess maybe
I don't know if I would have sex with.
Do you think he's fuckable?
I think he's real. I think he's attractive. Yeah, he's strong and he's got good hair.
Yeah,
and he's quite good looking for a man in his 50s, 60s. How old is he at this point?
Probably 60. That's not what this segment is about. We're not guessing
aging
his
well.
age. Yeah, definitely. And me, I'm not gonna step out on my wife. I guess you're really eager to cheat on Avital with Ben Stiller, but
not really.
I'm not
I
really
was just playing the game.
I don't want to hurt Jillian like that. And more than that, I don't even have that desire
Ben Stiller.
to be with anybody outside of my marriage. I'm happily married and I am in a monogamous relationship. But you, I guess, want to fuck random people like Ben Stiller. Victoria Beckham, smash or pass? For me, that's an absolute smash.
So that's okay. So it seemed like that the whole Jillian thing is not.
I have a hall pass. I obviously have a hall smash.
A hall spice, and it's any of the girls. You know Allspice? Yeah, I have a Allspice.
That's great.
I can basically
that's
smash
time
or pass.
That's time Do you have a segment you'd like to do? You have a minute and a half.
Let's try Wordle.
Okay. All right, fine.
All right, you want to think of a word?
Verbal Wordle. Yes, I'll think of a word. It's kind of okay, I got it.
Brave.
Gray. Oh my God. Gray.
This is the easy part. Yeah.
I know. Gray, yellow, yellow.
Oh.
Gray, yellow.
Wow. So R, A, and E are all in it.
Mm-hmm.
Early.
Yellow. Green. Yellow. Gray.
Raven.
Yellow. Green. Gray. Green.
Oh.
Gray.
Moral. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Marel. Merrill.
I thought you had the R in a green position previously.
Oh, I did? I thought I had the A.
You have the A. All right, so that's gray, green, gray, yellow. That's time. It was water. This is water.
That's awesome.
This is water. Okay, this is a new segment we're calling Jake Explains Anything. Jake explains it all. So you get to ask me any question you want, and I'll give you the explanation.
So you know how there's aluminum foil?
Yeah.
And there's also tin foil.
Right.
Are those two different kinds of metals, or is like aluminum and tin the same thing, or do we just use them interchangeably?
Yeah, it's similar to, like a Kleenex or a tissue. So
aluminum is the brand name for tin?
No, I think tin foil is kind of just like that's the ubiquitous one, and then aluminum foil that's like a trademark or something, but it's all the same.
They're both metal names.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well, but I mean,
different things.
Well, is a Kleenex not a tissue? They're both paper.
A Kleenex is the brand name for tissue.
Right.
So Kleenex is a company.
Yeah.
But there's no company named aluminum.
There's no company
named tin. No.
They're different compounds. So aluminum is a pure compound, and tin is aluminum mixed in with tin. That's why they call it
That's
tin.
Why it's called
because
that.
It's mixed in. Mixed
short
tin.
For mixed in.
Yeah, it's mixed tin. So there's aluminum and then there's mixed tin.
So when you buy like Reynolds wrap or something from a supermarket, just to for
that's time.
Sealing
That's absolutely time. Unpopular opinion. I actually have an unpopular opinion. I actually have an unpopular opinion that I've only landed on recently. Do you want to hear it?
Okay, sure.
I dislike fall.
Autumn.
Yeah, I don't like this season. And it's one of the most popular ones. It's a lot of people's favorites.
Yeah, people love fall because it's like no longer really hot and it's not yet really cold. And there's like sports plus sweaters in the air.
It's cozy.
They're
nice colors.
Yeah. Would you say it's your least favorite season?
It might be. I think it's
behind
because
winter.
Because I don't like the anticipation of winter. When we're in winter, I don't like it, but I'm starting to be like, wow, well, it's already January, and February is a short month. That's going to fly by, and then March, that's the kickoff of spring. So we're almost out. Like I can anticipate summer, or spring and summer, which are my favorite seasons, but fall. I'm kind of
the
watching,
beginning of the school year.
Yeah, I'm watching everything die. We're going back to school. And it's slowly getting colder. Like I'm watching all of my like cold and discomfort come in.
Yeah, and especially that's when the clocks change, and that's when it's like gets dark at 5:15. Gets dark at 4:15.
Right.
Then 4:10. Then 4:08.
I don't like the transition.
It's happening.
Yeah.
I mean, I was the same way. Winter's my least favorite, obviously, because I don't like.
And I do want to talk about that. But that is time. And we're moving on to the next segment.
So you don't want to talk about it.
I did want to talk about that, but we don't have time.
You want to talk about it.
We absolutely. Do you have a segment? You have 1 minute and 20 seconds.
Okay, let me share this photo with you, and you tell me where in the world we are. Okay?
Okay.
Where in the world we are when this photo was taken.
We're almost out of time.
All right. Okay, let me just share it.
Yeah.
Share my screen.
Please do.
Okay.
Because we're about to have to move on.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay. Oh, it looks, is that when we're in, so it's me,
you
you
want
and
to
Marty.
describe what it is?
It's all right. Me, you, and Marty. We all have really crisp haircuts, the high and tight, shaved on the side, long on top. We all have interesting facial
crisp,
hair.
short sleeve shirts, large pattern.
We're all wearing the pattern, short sleeve button down. It's pre all of the buttons buttoned. So I'm going to guess this is like 2014. All the buttons was more 2015. And I see SBE. So is that Sobe?
Sobe?
We're at the Sobe event for the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition in Las Vegas.
We are in Las Vegas. That is correct. I don't remember that swimsuit event.
That might have been something I did
Hyde
separately.
Bellagio.
Yeah, that's time. Yeah. That is absolutely time.
I thought we could talk about going.
It's time for Jake and Amir talk Tottenham.
Yeah. Okay.
So as everybody knows, Tottenham.
Talk about
Tottenham is my favorite football team. They're your favorite football team, and we have a Tottenham Hotspur podcast over on our Patreon. So why don't we preview what that's about just a little bit?
Coys boys, yeah. Well, the Spurs played really well last game. They dropped the hammer on the Hammers, down 0-1, came back, stole victory 4-1, running away with it, including an own goal from their goalie named Areola,
Alphonse
which I thought was
Areola.
fun.
That is correct.
Yes. Imagine being named after the nipple part of your body. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, that's very good. But let's talk about their match this coming Thursday against AZ Alkmaar.
Isn't that happening right now?
It's going to be happening in 20 minutes, which is why we have to really wrap this segment up and move on.
Yeah. Well, this is like a non-Premier League match. Like there's a Premier League match, and then there's like random other tournaments that are happening during the Premier League.
This is the Europa League conference. That's right. They are playing a Dutch side, AZ Alkmaar. Looks like it should be a pretty interesting match for our young ones. I think they're starting Lancashire, it might have even looked like.
Why? Because they don't care about this game as much?
Yeah, because they're in the group stage and we have to move on. We have to move on. Do you have a segment?
It's like speed dating or something. I can't really get a word in edgewise. Let's try Wordle, but I'll think of the word. You guess.
Okay.
All right, got it.
Space.
Gray, green. Gray.
God. Okay. Plank.
Gray, green. Gray.
Wow. So still just have that A, and that's it.
Yeah. The tent pole A.
Okay. Right in the middle. Flout.
So that's not an A.
Huh?
It's FLOUT.
Okay. Well, it wouldn't be flank, would it be? Flot. That's we're running out of time. We're running.
It was gravy.
Yeah, that's absolutely gravy.
It's kind of hard with the V and the Y.
Yeah, for sure.
Right in the middle there.
For sure. Meditation. Let's meditate and ruminate. We're gonna have you guide us through kind of like a breath work, breathing, calm the nervous system. I will. Yeah.
Okay. I guess close your eyes.
Okay.
Deep breath into your nose. And then slowly out of your mouth. Yeah. Imagine your body really grounded on something really sturdy and soft. A hill, a sand dune. You're either laying or sitting or even standing.
Try to be a little more decisive.
Deep breath.
Try to be more decisive. Not really anything sturdy about a sand dune.
Yeah.
They're getting like washed away into the ocean. how could I be grounded on something like that? But go on.
All right, yeah, deep breath through your nose again. Nose, yeah. Just let the air coat all of your sinus passages. You feel it up in your eyes and then out
You have
through
to
your
tell me
mouth.
to exhale because otherwise I'm just holding in.
I'm telling you, out through your mouth. Yeah. I wonder how many more times you'll see your parents before they pass.
Why on earth would
The
that
wind.
be like something
Think
to
of
relax
the wind
my
flowing around and through you.
The wind.
You're an airplane. You are skydiving.
We're out of
my
time.
God. Where's the parrot?
We're out of time. God damn. Question of the day.
All right, then we got to take a break. So this is the last segment of this.
So this
triad.
is a segment where we kind of ask a question that I think would be helpful for people to kind of ruminate and reflect on. The question I thought of for the day was, what's your main thing? If somebody said that's Amir's main thing, what do you think it would be?
Yeah. Probably sports, basketball. Like I'm really into knowing a lot about the sports world and specifically basketball. I'm hyper-focused. I know more about that than anything else in the world, whether it's like trivia about the past or like current situation about what's happening. I can sort of talk to anybody. That's like my icebreaker at a party. Oh, where are you from? Cleveland. Are you a Cavs fan? Oh, do you like the Browns? Blah, blah, blah. And then we get into it from there. If you don't like sports, I have nothing in common with you. You're a movie, you're a music person. That's just not for me. And I don't even want to get to know you. Okay. There's nothing for me there. You're an empty mine. Yeah, I'm in a record store, but I don't get what any of these things mean.
And does it make you happy?
Yes, it makes me very happy.
Right.
When my team wins, I feel joy. When they lose, I feel down. And so I put a lot of stock, emotional and physical, into going to see these things. I mean, I was just in Austin last weekend. Sports tourism as a thing.
Yes.
Going to see matches, going to see games, researching, following the athletes on social media, getting to learn them more, becoming interested in the strategy, the X's and O's of the game. I feel like I could, potentially coach or
and we're out of time.
Lead
we're out of time. We're absolutely out of time.
Let's take a break.
Funny. And we are back with a quick fitness tip. What are you doing to stay fit? Me? I just signed up for a Pilates class.
Oh, interesting. I've never done Pilates.
I just did my first class yesterday.
And?
It was very, very hard.
It's a lot of body movement, like no weights, but like kind of yoga, like planks and stretches.
Yeah, and I was in the reformer. I'm in the machine. So it's kind of like it's very low resistance. You're like lying down, and there's like springs attached to this board that's sliding everywhere. There's like a foot bar, there's straps that you're pulling over, and then you're like pulsing.
Yeah.
You're engaging your deep core and what they call your T-zone, your pelvic floor, as it were, which I am hyper focused on these days. I'm very
Why?
Because I think that my pelvic floor, my pelvis, is the root cause of some of my imbalances in my previous foot pain, the back pain, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm trying to strengthen these deep stabilizing muscles.
So it all happens in between your two hips, this like muscle in between that area that separates
the center of the
top
universe
and bottom
down
half of your
there.
body.
Yeah, that's where it all stems from. So if you got your core stabilized, then you're going to be okay. But we really have to move on.
That was it. That was so much faster.
That was a minute and 30 seconds. You were just obviously you were really engaged. Do you have
in my core? Yeah.
Do you have you have the next segment?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is episode 52. So let's play Who's 52? Celebrity game.
I love that.
Loser has to sing a song.
David Spade.
David Spade, I believe, is 60. Spade age. Wow. Yeah, he's 60 years old.
Okay.
Give me John Hamm. John Hamm age. He is 53. Close.
How about our old friend Ed Helms?
Ooh, that's good. Ed Helms. 50.
Okay.
Solid 50. But now that I'm in that zone, don't let me get in my zone. I'll guess Toby from The Office.
You don't even know his name. That doesn't count as a celebrity if you don't know his name.
Toby from The Office actor. Paul Lieberstein. Yeah. Age. He's 57. He's a little older than that, yeah.
What about Jason Bateman?
That's really good. 55.
Okay.
Although if we're going Bateman, I can go Will Arnett.
Yeah, but I think
he's 54.
Ooh.
He's 54.
And that's time. That's absolutely time. So we didn't get one.
We didn't quite get it. Yeah. Should we look them up, or it doesn't matter? We can keep it.
We can play again. This is our podcast.
Okay.
We'll do a second segment where we continue.
That's awesome.
Okay. So all right. 52. Who?
Oh, you want to play again right now? I think we got to move on. Different segment.
Okay, great. Fine.
We'll come back if necessary. Later.
Podcast pick. What's a podcast that you're into right now? What are you listening to?
Oh, yeah. I mean, back to sports. I've been listening to a lot of like basketball podcasts. The Hoop Collective has grown on me. It's Windhorst, Bontemps, and McMahon, these three sports journalists that talk to each other 3 times a week. But listening to the David Cross podcast, shout out to Census Working Overtime on the Headgum Network. I find myself listening. It used to be like I'm going to listen if I know the guest, but now I just listen to every episode. I found myself rooting for just listening to David Cross talking to his friends. It's a very, very casual conversation, which I kind of like. Like they just seem to be meandering, not talking about anything in specific, but sometimes they get into fun stuff.
That's interesting. Yeah, I remember from his pitch, he was like, my podcast, I will only fall back on the theme if I run out of things to talk about. I'll basically never ever talk about.
It's never happened. Yeah.
Yeah. He's never ever been like, what's the craziest
like
thing you ever smelled?
The theme was forced on him.
Yeah.
And he doesn't.
Like you have to have
like
a format.
Nor does he want to reference
He's like, I'm not going to talk about my theme. It's a title.
He doesn't care. Yeah.
Sweet. And we have to move on.
You don't have one, or
we don't have time. We don't have time.
Yeah.
Recipe recap. What have you cooked this week? Let's talk recipes.
Okay. What have I cooked this week?
I can start because I started cooking this week. I've been, in addition to my Pilates, I've been making a point to have breakfast because I was a breakfast skipper.
Yeah.
And I thought that
just
I was
coffee until lunch.
And I was working out hard. I was basically
fasting style.
I slept a lot, but then I was up skipping breakfast and asking a lot of my body. So for the last 2 weeks, I've gotten up nice and slow and didn't ask my body to do anything except for eat and come online. And it's been great.
Come online, like use the internet?
No, just kind of like all systems going. The pelvis is floating in the correct space.
Very pelvis forward. So what are you feeding your pelvis every morning?
So I'm shoveling yogurt in my ass to get to my pelvis.
Because that way it's closer to the floor.
I've been doing some oatmeal stirred with protein powder and peanut butter powder. So it's a protein-based peanut buttery oat paste with a scoop. Excuse me. We're almost out of time. We're almost out of time, and I'd like to finish what's in my bowl, and I can't. Time is up. Nobody will ever fucking know. Okay, here's a question. This is a finish this Jake and Amir quote. Or actually, sorry, this is guess this Jake and Amir video. Okay?
Okay.
The line is Amir, parentheses, speaking a bit too loudly. I don't care if he's big or small as long as his dick is warm and he fills me up with that boiling hot spum.
Yeah, I remember this episode. I don't remember what it's called. I basically say that out loud and everyone's like, the conversation skids to a halt.
Mm-hmm.
And then Streeter leaves and you're like, come on, man. I'm like, what? We were having a good time. It's like an innocuous joke. I don't remember what the next line is or what the episode was.
The conversation goes dead. Amir goes to take a sip of his apple juice, but notices the intensely awkward silence and makes a face defensively. Jake and Streeter avert their eyes from Amir and each other. Amir, now
Don't
speaking very quietly, almost under his breath.
Food?
How is that any different? Yes, Jake spits out his food. Jake steers daggers. It's from Jake and Amir Lunch Conversation is the name of the video.
Oh, Lunch Conversation. I knew the conversation part.
Yeah. And we're out of time and we are moving on.
Oh, I was going to say a funny story from that day, but
you can't.
Do we have a poem?
We certainly do. This is poetry.
Sort of a lightning round version of poetry or noetry, yeah.
Poetry or noetry. I have 3 limericks, one of which was written by yours truly.
Okay.
Number 1. There was an old man with a beard who said, "It is just as I feared. The owls and a hen, 4 larks and a wren have all built their nests in my beard."
I'm going to say that one's not you, but I'll keep an open mind as I hear the next 2.
There was an old man in a tree who was horribly bored by a bee. When they said,
that's you.
Next segment. When they said, "Does it buzz?" He replied, "Yes, it does. It's a regular brute of a bee." I'll read the third. Okay. There was an old man by a stream who slept and had a wet dream. When he awoke, he looked like a bloke who sat in a bucket of cream.
Okay. Now it makes me want to say 3 because of the wet dream part. But I was so certain about 2, I almost want to stick to my gut and say that you found a dirty limerick for the third one. So I'll stick to it, say, man in a tree is you. Wet dream is one you found.
Man in a tree, or yes, there was an old man in a tree is written by Edward Lear. That's time. That's right.
We'll never know if you wrote the wet cream one.
I wrote the cream one. If you'd like to hear it again, for everybody to tell their friends, there was an old man by a stream who slept and had a wet dream. When he awoke, he looked like a bloke who had sat in a bucket of cream.
Jesus Christ,
nice.
That's so very much nice. Spum. Boiling hot at that.
Spum.
It's a spiritual sequel to Lunch Conversation.
Okay, let's play. We're going to play Fuck, Marry, Kill with randomly generated fictional characters. So the Fuck, Marry, Kill, Aladdin, Silver Samurai, and Homer Simpson.
Fuck Aladdin. Silver Samurai, don't know who that is, but I'd like to marry Homer because he's funny. Mm-hmm. So I'll kill Silver Samurai. It'll make me feel kind of strong because he sounds like an awesome warrior.
Yeah. I think that actually sounds a bit, that basically sounds right. All right, here's another one.
Why don't you do this one?
Okay. We have Buzz Lightyear, Daisy Duck, and Bambi.
Okay, so you got some women in there. Yeah.
Right.
But also kind of animals. So it makes it a little freakier.
Right. I think I would have to, it feels bad, but I wouldn't want to, I guess I could marry Bambi and have like and abstain from consummating the marriage so I don't get into any like
have
bestiality.
Sex with a baby deer.
Yeah. That wouldn't be good.
Yeah.
But I would like to protect Bambi. So I'll marry Bambi and offer my protections. It's not romantic. I would absolutely go to town on Daisy Duck. That's like oral
wake up in
sex,
a bucket of cream.
Yeah. And we're out of time, but I'd obviously kill Buzz Lightyear. Do you have a segment for us?
Election update.
Very nice.
What's the latest? What are you hearing? It seems like Trump is doing crazier and crazier things, but is kind of running away with it at this point. At the very least in the betting markets, he's becoming a bigger and bigger favorite. Yeah.
I think what I'm most concerned about, like, if he wins the election, then I'll be pretty sad, but it would be the will of the people, and I would disagree, but at least I would be like, wow,
we get what we deserve.
This country is going to shit. People are bad, you know? But what I'm more afraid of is that Kamala wins and Trump becomes president, which I think that one is more increasingly likely to happen.
You mean wins the popular vote and then Trump wins?
No, I mean she just like straight up wins the election.
Wins the electoral vote.
She wins the election, and then there's some kind of like
weird loophole.
Yeah, where they like throw out a bunch of votes. They won't certify the election. There's some kind of like violent.
But that
uprising.
would have happened last time. Yeah.
Well, it almost happened
because when he was in power, that's his best opportunity.
Right.
To do it. Now that he's out of power, I feel like he doesn't have a lot of.
But haven't they like kind of slowly been like putting people in charge of the elections who, since 2020, basically every Republican that got elected is an election denier. So there's a lot more people in Congress that would buy that, he actually won the election.
Well, the government did censor this story, which would have changed the election. So I wouldn't have certified the results. That's not necessarily right. And it's like, wait, what do you mean? They denied a story and that makes the results not good and you would have not certified the election?
Yeah.
That's what I would have done.
I feel like they're going to find a way to install him, but we are out of time. Both as a segment and as a country. Do you have another question, or do you have another segment?
How was your last trip? We didn't talk about your Denmark trip. A little catch up.
Yes. So I went
to Denmark for a week.
Yeah, went to Denmark. We went to Copenhagen for 3 or 4 days, and then I went to Tisvilde or something like that.
I'm sorry?
Tisvilde.
Okay.
A beach.
How did you get there if you didn't know how to pronounce it? Oh, okay, it was a beach.
I was able to spell it and put it in our car's navigation, and we drove an hour outside of Copenhagen. It's kind of like their Hamptons or something. It's just like a little beach
sort of
town.
like a retreat, but it's kind of cold. It's kind of their main.
Yeah. It's definitely more quaint than the Hamptons, and yeah, it was beautiful. Absolutely, it's gorgeous. The weather was pretty perfect, actually. It was like 50 and sunny.
Did you eat anything that you wouldn't necessarily eat in America? Or is the food kind of comparable?
It's pretty comparable, I think. I mean, maybe there's like, I didn't eat anything that felt particularly Danish. It was all kind of Americanized.
Yeah, it's like you went to a gas station and there's like chicken and jam, and you're like, I guess I know these two things, but I wouldn't imagine eating boiled chicken with jam or something like that.
And we do have to move on. Like I ate a diet of chicken and jam.
And jam. I fucking knew it.
Yeah, we'll save it for the next podcast. But I do want to tell you all about the red eye that we took to get there.
It was sort of a red eye from hell.
It was a red eye from hell. It was very bad. It was a very bad flight. It was one of those. Yeah. Actually, you know what? We have a minute. I'll do a story about it. Okay. So we're flying to Denmark. We're bringing me, Jill, Gemma, and the nanny.
3 adults, 1 baby.
3 adults, 1 baby. We're all
hopefully
going
plenty of coverage.
Yeah. But we're meeting our nanny at the airport with.
Oh,
yeah. So we're meeting her at the airport.
So she's doing the flight solo.
No, she was like flying in from visiting her family. So we made this.
Oh, you're meeting her at the New York airport.
We made this plan. Her roommate dropped off her suitcase at me and Jill's house.
Wow.
And she had like a carry-on from a weekend trip, but we got her checked bag for our trip.
Wow.
Her roommate dropped it off at our house. I am driving to the airport for our red eye, and I'm pulling
10 p.m.
Yeah, the flight is at 10:10. Pulling into
Gemma's usually asleep for hours at this point.
Yes, and we did put her to bed. She went to bed at her bedtime at 6. Then we woke her up at like 8 to drive to the airport. We're pulling in.
And is she awake or is she kind of groggy at this point?
She's awake. She's not happy to be awake. She's kind of like, I'm like not into this. It's
that we don't have time to finish the story.
Let me give you the cliffhanger. As we're pulling into JFK, I realized that
you forgot the bag.
I did not bring
at home.
Yeah, I didn't bring her bag at all. The plane is taking off.
I didn't even bring it a little bit.
Yeah. Jill asked me, she's like, "Oh, did you bring the baby carrier? The carrier?" And I was like, "Oh, no, I forgot it. It was like downstairs in the hallway." And then I realized I didn't go down to the hallway at all where the roommate had dropped off the bag. Just didn't bring it. So there's a comedy of errors that actually got us that bag, and I'll tell you all about it on the next podcast.
That's exciting.
Should we take another break?
Let's do one more.
Okay, here's an SAT question. This one is for you. The question is,
thank you.
Tree.
I hope it's math.
It's not.
Oh, it's a
tree.
It sounds like an analogy.
Tree is to forest, as A, petal is to flower. B, fish is to ocean. C, student is to classroom. D, book is to library. Or E, leaf is to branch.
I got to tell you, they all sound pretty good to me. It's like one is a small subset of the other. Like, yeah, there are a lot of petals on a flower. Yeah, there are a lot of books in a library. Yeah, there are a lot of students in a classroom. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, what was the second one?
Book is to library, and leaf is to branch.
Leaf is to branch feels like the weirdest one. But I guess if I had to say which one is the most analogous, it would be book and library. Like a library is a lot of books and a forest is a lot of trees.
Yeah. Well, the answer, according to ChatGPT, was fish to ocean. A tree is an individual element within a larger forest, just as a fish is an individual element within a larger ocean.
So not the SAT then, just the AI sort of not necessarily giving me the correct answer.
It's possible.
Because a book is a small component of the library. Possible.
And I chose this one because I had also gotten it wrong, and I was like, maybe Amir will too. But maybe it was ChatGPT that got it wrong. And we are out of time. We're out of time.
Let's take another break. And we're back. New segment. Recap. How do you think this is going? Let's talk about it. Do you think this is enjoyable for you? Enjoyable for the listener? We're too sped up?
I think a couple things. One, it is a little chaotic, to be sure. We are having to do an abridged version of everything. But you have to remember that my original idea for this podcast was that we'd only be adding one segment every week, and we would be doing every single one from the previous week and then adding one, So
I don't know if that would make things better or a little bit worse because we've already talked about all this stuff before.
Yeah. Well, I think it could make it better because all of our little tangents could live within 3 to 5 minute chunks. We'd also we would all know what was coming up. It wouldn't be quite as frenetic.
Right. We wouldn't have to come up with 52 segments. We would just already have them.
Yeah. So we would kind of like know what to expect each time. We'd be able to roll into it and roll out of it.
Yeah. I'm curious if the audience likes it. I feel like they would like it as a one-off. It's a new, exciting version of the show, but I don't know if they would like it if this was every single episode.
Right. Well, it would never be 50. It wouldn't be 50. It would be.
Yeah, this would be the most extreme version.
Right. This is the craziest it would ever be. So
I also don't think we'll get to 50. I don't know how many we've done so far.
Yeah.
It feels like half that.
Right. Yeah. It's definitely, well, to be fair to me, you said you wanted to spend more than a minute on each one. So we're going to get less than 50. You wanted to spend a minute and a half. You needed to hear my airplane story. So yeah.
Well, I consider that 2 segments almost.
Mm-hmm, yeah. And it was. And we have to move on. We actually have to.
It seems like that's the new name of the show. We have to move on.
We have to move on. Let's talk horoscopes.
Okay.
You are a what?
Capricorn?
I feel like you're more of a Cancer, but maybe that's just on society. So, Amir, did you know? Shut up. If you follow your instincts and don't stop to question what you're doing, then you should make significant progress between now and the weekend. Generally speaking, the less you think and the more you act, well, this was from Monday, the more you act, the more successful you'll be. Do you feel like you...
No, that means nothing.
Really?
The less I think, the more I act. Every action is preceded by a thought to do that action, so that means nothing.
Maybe you're overthinking. It sounds like you're overthinking everything then. If every action is preceded by a thought.
I'm not underthinking it. I'm just thinking and doing just like everybody else. Nobody can adjust that.
There is no point getting angry with someone who is openly opposing your wishes. Wow. Pretty apropos, right?
Yeah, except you are getting very upset.
But it knows that I have an antagonist. According to the planets, they are making life difficult because they want you to overreact, really. But you're too smart to fall for it. Stay calm and carry on. How do you like that, you motherfucker?
Keep calm and chive on. You're not calm.
I am fucking calm.
You're not calm at all.
I am. And I'm gonna I want to kick your ass, Blumenfeld. We have to move on. We have to move on.
All right, how about this? Sports Gambling Corner. My team against your team in the World Series. This doesn't happen very often. Happened in 1981. Your New York Yankees are playing my Los Angeles Dodgers. Let's come up with stakes for the series. Loser does what? Winner takes all.
Would you get a tattoo?
No. Would you get a tattoo?
Yes.
Okay. So the stakes of the bet are, if the Dodgers win, you have to get a tattoo. And if the Yankees should win, I've already stated my preference of no tattoo.
Right.
But I'll give you $7 Venmo.
$7?
Venmo. As in digital cash.
Yeah. I don't need the actual cash. You would Venmo me $7.
Yeah. Okay, so what's another? I mean, less stakes, obviously.
Haircut.
This is kind of Vegas has this as a coin toss series. It's roughly equal.
Shave?
Shave our heads?
Shave a mustache.
Shave a mustache.
Yeah.
I would have to shave a mustache. You already sort of do, so you'd have to shave your head. That would be the equivalent.
That's not equivalent at all. You get an interesting facial hair. The other, I drastically change my appearance. No, it's not equivalent.
Yeah. We're both drastically changing our appearance.
Well, you can just shave the mustache off. I can't just grow my hair back.
Yeah, but it will grow back.
What about, I don't know, some kind of like bodily harm?
Oh.
Like you would.
We're out of time.
Okay.
Yeah, we're out of time.
We are out of time.
I guess we won't figure
like
this
chop
out.
off your finger or something.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to do another random celebrity. Now we're doing impressions.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I just randomly generated a bunch of them. And I'm going to, oh God, I can't do impressions of any of these people.
Yeah, of course. You can hardly do impressions of people you can do impressions of.
Here's one. Okay. Hey, Amir, so I hear you want to fuck me.
Ben Stiller?
That's correct. That's correct.
Good.
He did come up.
All right, what about this one?
Yeah.
Ready? Hello, Jake. I do the voice of an insurance company, and people find it pretty funny. I recently passed away.
Yeah, Gilbert Gottfried, dead for sure.
Yeah, nice.
All right, cool. And we're out of time. We're absolutely out of time.
Let's write a Jake and Amir episode.
Okay.
Jake and Amir, I have the disease that makes you sound like RFK.
Oh.
So I come into the office and I say,
"Hi, Jake."
Yeah. Hey, I realize it sounds a little different today.
What if you serve me with divorce papers?
Oh, okay, that works too. Do I have a lawyer there?
Yeah. So you're kind of like, so we'd have a like stunt cast your lawyer. You come in kind of crying. I get served with papers. I say that we're not married, but then you kind of start like talking about how you're gonna take half of my shit. It turns out that I don't have a prenup, even though I don't think we were ever legally wed. But then
or what about bouncing off of that? It's sort of the scene in A Social Network where Andrew Garfield's character comes in and like wants the entire company. Like, you better fucking lawyer up, asshole. So it's not necessarily divorce. I think you've cut me out of your will, or you're not willing to give me some money. Because I'm not coming for half. I'm coming for the whole damn thing or something like that.
What if you're suing me for libel because I tweeted my friend is so dumb blank, but you like know it's about you. And I think it was actually about somebody else. Or
you better lawyer
I posted
up,
something
asshole.
on Instagram that you're in the background of. And I used your
tag
likeness.
me. And let me guess, Suck is going to use that to sell a MetaQuest? Or how do you think that's going to affect
I'm taking you for everything you're worth. I'm taking you for everything your kids are worth, and what your dad's worth. And we're out of time. And we're absolutely out of time.
Yeah. Maybe we can go back to the bet, sort of finalize that, because we didn't really get to the bottom of it.
No.
No going back.
We have to.
There could be like we need stakes for the fucking World Series.
We could do an unfinished business segment.
Okay, yeah. Stuff that we didn't necessarily get to. The story about the red eye, the bet situation.
Okay, sweet. So yeah, we'll wrap it up with unfinished business.
Okay. Your red eye from hell?
So first of all, we pull up to the airport having forgotten a bag.
And then you said the baby carrier, like the thing that she sits/sleeps in for the plane?
No, like it's like a little baby Bjorn to carry her around. We don't use it all the time.
It seems pretty important.
Kind of, but she walks now, and she's not like, you can't use it for that long. So it wasn't ideal, but we could have survived for a few days without it. If we really needed it, we could have gotten one.
And was Jill like, that's funny you forgot her? She's like, what's wrong with you? Or is she like, okay, let's figure this out. Didn't want to blame you.
No, she didn't mind. It's a high stress environment. We're trying to make this flight. We're just thinking,
you're doing
like,
your best.
Did we bring everything? Oh, we probably forgot something. It was like,
yeah.
I think it's like in Home Alone where they're like, you know what? I feel like we forgot something. Oh, I left the garage open. And they're like, great. Like, oh yeah, we forgot the baby carrier. That was the thing we forgot. And then like 10 minutes later, I realized that we had forgotten the bag. Jill.
Does she think you're kidding? I get that a lot. Like, you're joking, right?
No. I was like so upset with myself because I'm like, I mean, it's truly the worst thing that we could have done. Like I was the one that was texting the nanny who like had this whole plan because she had landed, and I was like, are you going to come home? We'll drive you, or like what, no, we'll do this. Great. And she's going to meet us at the air train and put in her carry-on. It was like, when we were putting it all together, it felt smart almost. But then we're driving there. I know that I don't have her bag. I know she's going to meet me, and I know I'm going to have to be like, I don't have the bag. But Jill gets an Uber courier, texts our neighbor to go into the house, put the bag in an Uber and have it follow us. But we had just like sat in a bunch of traffic to get to JFK, and we were going to be there.
There's a chance this courier might not get there.
Yeah, because we're checking the bags, so they have to be there at least an hour before the flight. So we're going to be there like an hour and 40 minutes before the flight. We're looking good, and then it's how fast can this bag get there? We go to the front gate. We're checking everything. I tell the guy at the counter what's going on. He's like, well, like the computer literally won't let me check it in after if it's an hour, if it's earlier than an hour. It's like, it'll lock me out at 9:10. It locks me out. When will the bag get here? Jill's like looking at the Uber tracking, 9:08. 9:08.
Oh my God. So you have to hope it beats a little time.
Yeah. And it's like so clearly not going to beat time because it's stuck in traffic. But Jill like calls the guy. He's texting her being like, this is like, I'm on a mission. I'm going to get you this bag. He's like amped.
He's into it.
The driver is like, this is awesome. I'm going to get you the bag.
Yeah. I just got to fill up gas and then I'm getting you there.
I got to do a fender bender. But he got there at 9:06. Meanwhile, the guy at the gate is telling me, he's like, what's your plan if the bag doesn't get here? And I'm like, I don't have a plan. Like, what do you mean, what's my plan?
Yeah, because then the bag is stuck at the airport and you have to leave.
Yeah, and I was like, I guess maybe I'll just empty out my backpack or something and try to fit as much of her stuff in here as I can. I don't know what the fucking plan is, man. It's all gone to shit. The plan was to meet her with her bag.
Are you sweating? This is like a not great way to start a red eye.
Yeah, I'm very nervous, but I'm still laughing. I'm excited to go to Copenhagen. So and I'm like, and I think it's probably going to work out. Anyway, the bag does get there, 9:06. Jill sprints down the hallway, gets the guy.
Oh, wow.
Gets the bag. He's like kind of laughing.
Does she run faster than you? Is that why she ran instead of you?
Yeah. And I was, for sure. she runs faster than me.
Run faster, babe.
Well, she was also, she was tracking the Uber. She was calling him. That was like their whole thing. But yeah. Then we go from there. We're like, wow, we did it. We got the bag on. We like walked out to security. We have like TSA pre-check. We have clear,
international.
Yeah, I've got Sky Priority. I have like access to every fast line. Did not realize that nighttime at JFK, they just shut them all down. Their TSA,
you can't. There is no.
They went home.
There
clear agents. They were gone. There's one line
regular for you.
Yeah, and you can show them that you're TSA and you don't take off your shoes, but you don't get a special line. You don't get to cut anybody.
There's no access.
It's mayhem. It's off. Like, and we're just standing there. Like, we're just gonna miss our flight. I'm talking to the guys.
And you got to be the kind of guy like, hey, I am gonna miss my flight. Can I cut you?
But the problem was that there were so many people that were saying that You couldn't be like, hey, we're gonna miss our flight, let us through. And they're like, oh yeah, it's okay, we're here 2 hours early. It's like, no, all of us are trying to make like 10 p.m. red eyes. They're the last flights out.
But you have a baby.
Yeah, we did have a baby.
Count for something.
And I saw this guy like bring these two like VIPs through something, like almost like they paid for the expedited white glove service or something.
That's awesome.
And I just grabbed the guy on his way out. I was like, "Hey, we have a baby. We're gonna miss our red eye." He like looked at Gemma.
This baby has to make it.
She really needs to go to
Denmark.
Denmark.
She has a fucking business.
She's been looking forward to this her whole life, a year and a half. So he ushers us through. So the second time, I'm just like, wow, we are blessed. Everything is working out. It's all these close calls. But another way to look at it is like all of these red flags, like just don't go. You're
encouraging you not to get on the flight.
You're trying too hard. We get on the flight. Jill and I are like sitting in our seats. Gemma's going to bed. We're like, oh my God, we did it. There's an announcement. There's something wrong with the plane. They're waiting on somebody to fix it. There's another announcement. The people aren't showing up to fix whatever's wrong with the plane. There's a third announcement.
You're on the plane when 10 p.m., 11 p.m., midnight?
It's 11 now. They're like, it's going to be another hour and a half. We're going to have everybody get off the plane. So,
oh no, get off the plane.
Yeah, you never want to hear
when
that
you're on
the red eye. So we left, and then Gemma's just like absolutely wired, being insane in the terminal. We're waiting an hour and a half.
You got off the plane.
And we're like, should we even go? This is like,
at this
it's going to be terrible
home for sure. Yeah, you leave at 2 a.m. instead of 10 or something.
So we didn't. We got back on the plane.
Wow,
it's 2 a.m. Now Gemma's like pretty upset. We're the people
really confused.
Yeah, she's like,
and she's supposed to be asleep for the last 8 hours and for another 6.
And I'm talking to the agent because we're about to take off. I'm like, when are they gonna why won't they dim the cabin lights? It's just bright in here. It's like, well, they don't want it. They can't dim them till after the meal service. And I'm like, meal service? You got
4:15.
It's you delayed.
Do you
the
want
flight.
muesli?
It's after midnight. We're not doing a fucking dinner, right? Let her go to bed.
You got Indian food, right?
And then, then we take off and they just like leave the lights on for an hour and a half to do meal service. And Gemma's just like intermittently screaming her head off or just like kind of clawing at either me or Jill. We're like those people on the red eye that you just never ever want to be. And then,
was that the low point?
That was the low point. That was like I'm like, I have completely lost control over everything. I can't get them to turn off the lights. I am thinking like, if they will only turn off the lights, then my daughter will go to sleep. But even then I'm like, I don't actually know.
Yeah. It's a shot in the dark, literally.
Yeah. So we kind of just like, we're like playing. She's never watched a screen before in her life, but I'm like playing Finding Nemo and just being like, fish, fish, fish. Look, it's a fish. Like
to Jill.
Yeah, anything to get her to stop crying. And she's sort of just, she's just like hovering. She's just like on the edge of tears for an hour and a half until they turn the lights off.
Also, you must be exhausted too, because it's like 4 a.m. and you usually go to bed at 9:30.
Yeah. But I was like, as long as I can make her, like, I don't care about myself because I was like, I know that tomorrow she'll be able to sleep in the hotel and I'll be able to sleep in the hotel. So I was just like, make her not as miserable as possible until we get there.
You finally took off when, and how long was the flight?
I think we finally took off at like 1 or something, and the flight was 7 hours.
Oh, wow. Did you sleep at all?
Yeah, I slept a lot. I slept for like 4 hours. Jill didn't sleep at all.
So you slept for the last 4 hours of a seated flight.
Yeah.
And then Jill did not sleep. You landed.
Jill slept for an hour. Gemma slept for like 3 hours. We land. We went to, it's like 2 p.m. in Denmark when we land.
Yeah.
We went directly to the hotel, blacked out all the windows, put Gemma down. She took like a 2-hour nap.
4 p.m.
Yeah, we kind of unpacked, got dinner, and then we went to bed. And the next morning we woke up, everything was normal.
You reacclimated.
Yeah.
You adjusted accordingly.
Yeah.
So it really sacrificed one day.
Yeah, and in the end it was worth it.
Yeah, because you got to see the chicken, the jam, the figs, the jelly.
The beach on North Zealand. It was great.
Yes, exactly. Maybe next time you go for longer, because the there and back really sacrifices a day each way.
Well, next time I might just move there.
Oh, that's good. That way it's a one-way trip.
Depending on if Trump steals the election.
Yeah. Honestly, if you don't bring Gemma, it might be easier too, because then you could just sort of sit back, relax. It doesn't necessarily matter. You don't have to do the Finding Nemo thing.
But she's the only thing that gets me on the flights. I don't cut a line without her.
Yeah, she's sort of your priority access, your little TSA pre.
She is my priority, my little sky priority.
Okay, before we go, we have to figure out this Yankees-Dodgers bet. It's too perfect. It's exactly New York versus LA.
Should we do...
Remember the billboard bet? That was crazy.
Yeah. Should we do another billboard bet?
I don't know, because we had access to cheap billboards. I don't know if we have that anymore. Although maybe it's up to like the loser to like find the billboard, and like it could be anywhere in the world.
Right.
Maybe there is like a $50 billboard somewhere.
Yeah. Let's do the billboard bet.
Okay, billboard bet. The winner gets to have the loser make a billboard for them.
Oh, I thought it was the winner designs a billboard to be displayed of the loser.
Yeah, and then the loser has to deal with the logistics of getting it done.
Oh, wow. All right.
Because then it's like kind of a hassle.
Yeah,
you have to research billboards.
And it has to be in Denmark.
It really needs to be in Denmark.
Yeah.
At the very least, Denver.
It should be Danish.
Any DEN city. Okay, winner designs a billboard, loser has to get it on a billboard somewhere in America or Denmark.
Perfect.
Go Dodgers, I guess.
Go Bronx Bombers.
All right, that was kind of a nice year in review. We touched upon everything. Let us know what you guys think.
Please.
Was this a giant mistake, or should we just keep it up, go all the way from 52 back to 1? How many segments do you think we did?
40.
Yeah. It's a solid over-under. I got to go a little bit above 40. It was so fast.
Yeah, maybe it's 42.
That's awesome. And we're going to be in Chicago. Tickets at headgum.com/live, November 14th.
Hell yeah.
Right after the election. So maybe we will have a new leader by then.
We'll see. Didn't they not announce Biden until November 19th?
Was it? I thought it was a few days later.
Maybe
but it did take a while to count all the votes. Sorry, find all the votes. Sorry, discard all the other votes.
Right.
Sorry, send all the election observers home so that they can figure out how to count them.
We have to move on.
We have to move on as a nation. This is the concession speech, not the what is it called when you win and you give a speech?
Consolation? Oh, acceptance.
Yeah, acceptance. Trump's definitely doing that night one, right?
For sure.
There's no way he's saying.
For sure.
Yeah, he sort of did it last time, and he was losing.
Yeah.
Pretty sure we're gonna win. So thank you.
Yeah.
We did it. Okay. Should be fun, and we'll see you guys there. Tickets are still available at headgum.com/live. Thank you for listening, or if you're watching on our YouTube channel, all of these episodes are available in full on this here YouTube channel, so thanks for watching if you are.
All right.
And we'll see you next year.
No.
Bye, everybody.
That was a Headgum original.